Like I said earlier, I've been getting that feeling. I've been talking to the press and stuff like that, trying to avoid, like, for instance, just the Woodstock stuff, because I really can't remember a whole lot about it, but what are you going to do? I do remember getting there, though. I remember because in those days I was driving a big checker cab I bought here in the city. And I bought it new. And you could fit the whole freaking band in that one car. You know what I mean? I mean, it was me and my guitars and my stuff, and we had a bass player and a double bass, big double bass, and him and his stuff, and the drummer and the set of drums and his stuff, their girlfriends and their stuff, all in one car. I mean, those days are freaking gone, but we went to Woodstock like that, I think, and we got just about there, and they stopped us to say, you can't go any further, the roads are closed, we're diverting you to some motel up the road. So we went to the motel, and there was a helicopter waiting there, you know, and I thought, wow, I've never been in something like that. I was excited. I was about 19, and we got in the chopper, and I remember we took off, and the amazing thing was that there was people as far as the eye could see in every direction, no matter how high we went. And there was 2 New York State troopers in that chopper with us, one on each side of the door that was open, and one was a big guy on one side, and there was a little guy on the other side. And I remember the big one looked down, and he looked at the little one, he said, "There's a lot of hippies down there." And the little one said, "Yep." Then the big one said, "I bet they're doing lots of illegal stuff." And the little one said, "Yep." And the big one said, "Well, I'm not going down there, nothing, are you?" And the little one said, "Nope." And that's when I realized we was going to have a pretty good time at that festival. I was not mistaken. Like I said, I got there on the first day of the event, and I was under the impression I didn't have to perform until the second day. So I was just walking around backstage, you know, like saying hi to people and stuff that I hadn't seen. And eventually I walked out in that big field up on the hill with the mud and the rain and everything. And I was doing what everybody else was doing. So at some point later that afternoon, I had a serious case of the munchies. I needed something to eat, something to drink, you know, cookies, something like that. And there was nothing. It was all gone. So I went backstage hoping they'd have something, and there was nothing there. All they had backstage was 147 cases of champagne that they're saving for the end of the event. By the end of the first day, that was gone. And I don't remember how many cases I was personally responsible for. But between that and the other stuff we were doing that day, it came as a surprise when somebody come up to me and said, "Arlo, you got to play now, man." I can't play now, man. I'm not here now, man. I'm coming tomorrow. They said, "No, you're here, man. You got to play now, man." I said, "I can't play now, man. I can't walk now, man." They said, "We don't care about that stuff. Richie Havens been up playing for hours. There's nobody else. You got to play now, man." And I was too young to realize I could have said no. So I grabbed my big 12-string guitar, and I walk out on the big stage there over this bridge and stuff. And in the middle of the regular stage, they had a circular stage built right in. So while the guys was still playing up front, you could set the next band up behind them, and when they was done, just twist them around, not be wasting time breaking down the band, setting up the next one. It was a great idea. I mean, it didn't work, but it was a great idea. And in the middle of the circular stage, they had this big hole for all the cables and mic lines and wires and stuff like that. They didn't tell me about the hole. I wasn't looking for the hole. I'm looking at more people than I knew I would ever see again in my life at one time. And I was looking at them like you could back then, each one individually. And that's when I remember falling through time and space. The most unbelievable thing happened. I moved through the molecular structure of the wood itself. And I rematerialized on the other side of the hole on stage, almost completely intact. That's my memory of it. Coming in from London from over the pole, flying in a big airliner, chicken flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel please.